there's another civilization in existence that's intelligent that we know about. And we actually have artifacts from them that can operate.
So I have a whole other video that has already been filmed, but we're going to put this at the very beginning first. Okay, so in the later parts of the video, we are going to go through the CIA making everyone very suspicious of what's going on with 3i Atlas, because they're saying things that are very much like, oh, you're refusing to answer that. And like, you know, like where we're trying to figure out, is this a comet? Is this a UFO or like a mothership invading army, whatever, right? All of that. And then we're also going to look at an incredible documentary about Bob Lazar towards the backside of this video. But first, in my research on the 3i Atlas, I came by this little gem right here, and I haven't even looked at it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through this really quick, because he says that Trump was fully briefed on alien hybrids living among humans. And so I literally just stopped what I was doing, and I'm like, never mind, I'm covering this story. And that is exactly what we're going to do right now. Let's jump right into this right after you have subscribed to my channel, liked this video, because when the aliens do invade Earth, the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to harvest at least 40% of the population. And what they told me is that the one thing that someone can do to avoid being harvested and be on the other side where you're going to get enhanced from the harvested group is if you have subscribed to my channel and liked every video that you watched on my channel, you're going to be one of the people who gets enhanced and not one of the ones who gets harvested. Don't say I didn't warn you. Do not say I didn't warn you, because they actually told me that. Everybody in this video is very credible, just like what I'm just kidding. I mean, I actually do think they're credible, but what I said is very real. Okay, so President Donald Trump has allegedly been fully briefed on what the U.S. government has been keeping secret about UFOs and alien life living among humans. In a recent interview, whistleblower and retired U.S. Air Force Major David Grusch claimed that Trump has received reports on crashed spacecraft and non-human remains retrieved by the U.S., the origins of these beings, and their intentions. Grusch, the current advisor to Congress's UAP task force, said the president could soon become the most consequential leader in world history by publicly disclosing what America has kept secret about extraterrestrials. Well, listen, okay, if you were looking for which of us are alien hybrids, you should look no further than right here, because that is exactly how I knew the thing about the dividing line with the harvesting and all of that, is because I'm one of them. And I actually made that decision. Okay. I sent that right up the ladder. I was like, if we've got to make some hard decisions about who's going to stay and who's going to be used, I would like to make my YouTube channel the first thing that we're going to like, okay, well, these guys are all good. There's only thus far 560,000 of them or something like that. Okay. That's a very small group. It's a very elite group. Okay. It has, but listen, you gotta choose somehow, right? So he says members of this current administration are very well aware of this reality. Certainly, the current president is very knowledgeable on this subject. To this point, previous White Houses, the U.S. military, and even NASA have all denied that humans have made contact with alien life or have ever recovered extraterrestrial technology from crashed UFOs. Oh, well, their denials are probably not real, because I just told you that it's real, and you are in the presence at this moment of a hybrid. That is why I can so calmly deliver this information to you with a straight face, is because I'm telling the truth. No physical evidence has ever been presented publicly that would back up the stories by countless civilians, scientists, and military personnel over the decades who claim to have seen or interacted with beings from another world. However, Grusch said the U.S. military has not only recovered UFOs and alien bodies, but he personally viewed intelligence reports, data, and even pictures of non-human bodies with his own eyes. That is super sketch. Why wouldn't they tell us? I'm serious. Like, in all seriousness, like, why wouldn't they tell us? If that's true, it's like, I feel like we're entitled to that information. There's no reason that you could possibly give me that would justify me not getting to know that there are crashed alien ships and alien bodies in our possession. Okay. Why on earth would you get to keep that secret? The whistleblower also allegedly told members of Congress that Trump was even briefed during his first term about the existence of multiple alien races and how one species has been crossbreeding with humans. Man, I hope this is true. I hope this is true so bad. I really do. And I've been saying, later in this video that we are going to look at some Bob Lazar stuff. I've always entertained that Bob Lazar might actually be one of those hybrids, and also Dr. Stephen Greer. And you want to know why? Because they look so similar. They look super similar. I think that the crossbreeders have a really large mouth. They are clearly Caucasian because both of them are Caucasian. And I don't know. If you look at Bob Lazar and Stephen Greer next to each other, they look pretty fucking similar. You know what I mean? Grusch spent 14 years in the Air Force before working as an intelligence officer for the National Reconnaissance Office, which builds and launches surveillance satellites for the Pentagon. From 2019 to 2021, he represented the NRO on the UAP task force, but eventually became a whistleblower after allegedly learning that elements of the U.S. government had prevented congressional oversight on matters related to extraterrestrials. You know what's funny about this, though? I'm just going to throw this out there. You know, when I think whistleblower, I think afraid for my safety. You know, I am a whistleblower. And if you're going to whistleblow on the biggest, largest secret in the history of humanity, you would think that just cruising on to Fox News and then going to the congressional, all this stuff, and just living your life out in public would probably be pretty challenging. But in his case, for some reason, he's not afraid, but he's still a whistleblower. Really makes you wonder if he's actually a whistleblower or if this is some kind of operation. I don't know. I mean, just questions that I ask myself, just things I ask. Not sure if anybody knows the answers. Or actually, I'm positive somebody does, but I don't, So he said in 2023, he testified before Congress claiming that secret government departments had been running UFO retrieval and reverse engineering programs for decades. When asked if he would declassify the files about aliens on the Lex Friedman podcast in 2024, Trump candidate said, "Sure, I'll do that. I would do that. I'd love to do that. I have to do that." Oh my God, that is so funny. He's like, "Sure." You're all right. He answered affirmatively. He's all, "I'll do that." You're all right. He says he's going to do it. He's like, "I would do that." All right. I got it. He's like, "I love to do that." You're all right. Sounds like you're going to do it. He's like, "I have to do that." You're all right. This is an affirmative answer. You said yes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to a single question. I don't know what it is, guys. It makes me definitely believe him, though. Usually when I ask someone a question, it's like, "Are you going to do this?" And they say yes 5 consecutive times. I'm like, I have no reason to be suspicious that they won't actually do this. Right? Did he do it? Not yet. Oh, but he's going to, right? I mean, of course he's going to. He said yes 5 times. Of course he's going to do it, dude. Just hold your breath, because by the time you are, just even getting a little bit uncomfortable, he'll probably have done it, Okay, so Burlinson added that Grusch had briefed the president on the existence of a race known as the Nordics, which are generally human in appearance with fair skin and blonde hair who have created alien-human hybrids. I literally had not even read that. And look at me predicting things exactly correct 1 minute before we find out I was correct. Bob Lazar, Stephen Greer are both what? Fair skin, blonde hair, and look like alien hybrids? Come on, dude. He said that the Nordic aliens are like a few hundred years more advanced than we are, but they are not super advanced. He says that there are aliens that are crossbreeds living in the world. He said humans would, noting Grusch did not have an answer about whether we would be able to tell if they're a hybrid. Well, I just told you. Grusch described an alien race called the Greys as being thousands of years more advanced than humans and other alien species humans know about. Listen, I do believe that this is true, this part for sure. Maybe the Nordics, I have no idea. I have no idea, but I do believe it. Now, if you want to finish this article, there's more there, but we're going to move right over to what the CIA said about 3i Atlas and then Bob Lazar in a second. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a look at this new shocking statement from the CIA about the mysterious interstellar visit that upends NASA's comet story. So, there's this comet 3i/Atlas that people are saying might be an alien mothership headed towards the Earth planet that we're all on. Not the Venus planet that we are on sometimes. Whatever. Why are you saying Earth planet? I don't know. It's just I was originally going to say the United States, and then I realized that the world is actually bigger than the United States, and that would have made me sound very egocentric as far as it goes with my country. And so I changed what I said, and now I sound insane. Nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this story because now CIA is refusing to make statements that would certainly make me more comfortable about our likelihood that it is in fact a comet that's not going to hit Earth, okay? Because when you start having people lie to you and you start getting suspicious, at least I do, it's like, why are you lying? Or why are there discrepancies? This should not be a big thing with a bunch of discrepancies in it, okay? It's either a comet and it's either going to hit us or it's not, okay? It's not like maybe it's an alien ship or like, oh, yeah, no, it's not going to hit us. And you're like, so why do you keep lying about it? Okay. So we're going to take a look at that. Then I am going to show you, I've been doing something recently because I realized I am doing the world a massive disservice by not for free promoting the heck out of Dauntless Dialogue, because guess what, dude? I watch Dauntless Dialogue so much. And it's like, it's one of those things where I actually genuinely want to share what I have with my people, okay? Dauntless Dialogue, again, real quick, we're going to get into the story, though, but Dauntless Dialogue is a website, okay? This is not it's not a channel. Like, take a look. When I scroll this down, see? DauntlessDialogue.com. It's a website that you will subscribe to it's a subscription, platform, but it's like $30 a year or something like that. It's like really not expensive at all, and it is the best. If you like watching my kind of content, like half the stuff that I talk about and you're like, man, he's an expert. I learned it from amazing documentaries on that platform. And I want to show you this one. This is an old one, but it's The Perplexing Case of Bob Lazar. If you know who Bob Lazar is, like, obviously, this is the best documentary ever made about Bob Lazar, in my opinion. I'm sorry, okay, to my boy who made the actual, like, theatrical release, Bob Lazar. That's a great documentary, too. But I am always partial to Mouthy Buddha because Mouthy Buddha is my favorite creator. I think he's the best documentarian of all time, and he has, like, disappeared into the ether. He is literally the most underappreciated content creator literally ever. I mean ever. I fancy myself pretty good at this, but I think Mouthy Buddha is better at documentaries than I am at just sitting in front of a camera and talking into it, and I think I'm the best in the world at that. So he has a million videos on Dauntless Dialogue, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. So let's jump right into this thing. Okay, so CIA makes a shocking statement about mysterious interstellar visitor that upends NASA's comet story. Oh, good. Good, because there's not even a little bit of me that's thinking that maybe the secret that they are hiding is that it's going to hit us in an extinction level event, as we're about to get to that movie Greenland. Great flick, by the way. The sequel to Greenland is coming out very shortly, but the original, about the meteor that's going to hit Earth, and they have to, what's his name? Oh my God. Leonidas. It's, oh my God. He almost died. He almost drowned when he did the Mavericks movie. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I literally can't think of his name. You guys, if you're new here, this happens a lot. I thought you said you're the best in the world. I was joking. Okay? I can't even remember people's names, much less be the best at anything. Okay? Or maybe I'm literally just stalling trying to think of his name, and I still can't. I can't get there. I have to look. This is going to make me insane. Okay? Yeah, so his name's Gerard Butler, because I definitely knew that, and I am going to head over to the doctor right after this and ask him to check me for dementia. Anyway, so although NASA claimed the object is an ordinary comet, an icy rock with a long tail of gas and dust, intelligence officials have refused to answer whether they investigated the possibility that 3i Atlas is an extraterrestrial craft. Huh. Why? Why wouldn't you answer that? In response to a November 2025 Freedom of Information Act request regarding the supposed comet, the CIA said it could neither deny nor confirm the existence of non-existence. what? Or non-existence of records regarding 3i Atlas. Okay, so we're going to get into exactly what that means. And by the way, let me tell you something else. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe to this channel? Because it's very helpful to me. See, I'm asking you for things that help me. And listen, if you have something you want me to help you out with, just ask, because I will definitely do it if I see it. Also, liking this video is very helpful as well. And believe me, you're going to want to like it when you get into the Mouthy Buddha Dauntless Dialogue documentary. Okay, so the federal government has maintained that the object showed no signs of harboring alien life or that it was an artificially constructed spacecraft since it was detected in July of 2025. However, the CIA still decided to provide what is known as a glamour response. It's a way for the government to say, we're not going to tell you if we have information or not, because even admitting that could reveal sensitive secrets. Oh, good. That's good. So, for some reason, we suddenly have been, for the last 5 years, all out of nowhere, suddenly the government's like, yes, we want to tell you all about the aliens. And you're like, you want to tell us about the alien? Oh, yes, it's time for us to confess. And you're like, you guys never tell us anything. Why are you doing this? Like, now you want me to believe in aliens? Now I don't believe in them. I've always believed in them. Now I don't, because you guys are saying that they're real. I just, finding out something about myself, I just assume you're lying all the time, because fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 7,000 times already. I think the 7,001st should be pretty embarrassing for me. You guys do nothing but lie, right? That's not true. We tell you the truth sometimes. Well, how am I supposed to differentiate? Okay? How am I supposed to differentiate? Do you want me to start itemizing the times that you, federal government, have lied to me, and then I've caught you later on? I mean, come on, dude. The federal government to us is basically like a girlfriend that you've caught sending nudes to like all of your friends in like 25 different incidents spread out over like 2 years. And every time you're all, I believe her, she's changed. I believe her, she's changed. They're all, she's had sex with your dad. Well, I mean, no one can prove that she or he was awake. Well, one of them had to be awake. But if you don't know who, then you can't say who the perpetrator is and who the victim is, and thus I'm going to take her back. That's basically the level that I would be at if I believed anything that these guys said about sensitive stuff, like about aliens. Harvard professor Avi Loeb has continued to challenge NASA's claims, highlighting that 3i Atlas has exhibited at least 12 strange behaviors that scientists have not been able to explain as natural occurrences. Those anomalies include the object having a bright anti-tail pointing in the opposite direction of a normal comet. Oh, that's good. Good. Oh, good. Course changes that defy the laws of gravity. Hang on for a second. Hang on. Defy the laws of gravity. Yes. It defies the laws of gravity. I'm like, is there a law where gravity doesn't exist in space? What? I mean, this thing's hurtling through space. Yes, it is. Is there gravity in the middle of space? Well, we've certainly told you that there isn't. So how would this defy gravity if there is no gravity? Listen, kid. Don't look too deep under the covers. You might find things you don't want to know. Like what? Well, maybe the flat earthers have had it correct all along. There is gravity in space. Is that what they say? No. Okay. So now you've slept with my cousin also? Now I just found out, yeah, you slept with my cousin too. That's what we're doing? Defies the laws of gravity. Hilarious. And a nickel shell, which is a metal typically used by spacecraft to deflect heat. That's interesting. So if I were to, try to poke holes in this theory, I might say, how on Earth or in all of the galaxy or universe would you possibly know that thing has a nickel shell? Riddle me that. How'd you get to that? Well, we know that because we know for sure it is, in fact, a mothership, and it's been here before, just not since 1940. But they said they were coming back in 2026, and they were coming with all their friends, and they were going to destroy the Earth. And we've kept this deep, dark secret from you forever, and, now you're going to find out the hard way. Are you telling me the truth? This time we are. I tend to believe you now for some reason. This information is treated as sensitive enough to be classified by the CIA is surprising, given that NASA officials stated decisively at a press conference that 3i Atlas is definitely a comet of natural origin. Well, listen, dude, when NASA tells me something is definitely this or that, listen, I know for sure they would never lie to me. Okay? NASA is one organization that I know for sure wouldn't lie. Jesse, do you believe that the moon landing's real? Define real. Do you believe that humans landed on the moon during the Apollo, missions? No. Do you? No, of course not. Right. So why would you say that you believe NASA? Oh, I was pure sarcasm. I don't believe anything they say. Like, they have the biggest lie of all time. Literally the biggest lie of all time. I mean, at least the one that we know of, right? At least the one that anyone who's looked into this knows. You know the moon landing's fake. I mean, yeah, I do. Oh, you do? Yes. You sound anti-American and crazy. Well, I mean, do you have a good way of explaining how, we can't go past lower Earth orbit now in 2026, which maxes out, I believe the furthest we've gone from Earth is 600 miles? Aside from the Apollo missions, where the Earth and Moon distance is 238,000 miles away. Did you say 238,000? I did. Yeah. So it's only 237,400 more miles than the maximum we've done previously, which was 600. Oh, yeah, I know. We can get rovers there, though, because it is the Van Allen radiation belts that limit our ability to go past lower Earth orbit, which, in my opinion, very well might be an alien civilization's way of keeping psychotic humans trapped on their own planet while they still have the instincts to use nuclear weapons against each other. Like a radiation belt, given that our technology is not good enough to get past it, would be an excellent way to make sure that humans are not out in the ether bringing their chaos, death, and destruction to, more civilized planets that are not really keen on having to defend themselves against, invading armies of psychos. Just something I've thought about, Also, this entire reality is a simulation. Anyway, so that is, so here we go. There's just a couple more quotes. Very interesting. Apparently, CIA Director John Ratcliffe knows nothing, one person said on social media. Oh, listen, I love when people on social media get quoted. That's my favorite thing. It's like, wait, wow. I mean, that brings a lot of color to this story. Person on social media alleged. Well, I guess I can just move on now because a person on social media made an allegation. The new revelations have come months after NASA's completely dismissed the possibility that 3i Atlas being extraterrestrial in origin, with the Space Agency Administrator Nikki Fox saying they found nothing that would lead us to believe it was anything other than a comet. Let me ask you something. Did you find that it's defying gravity in the middle of space? No. It's not what I heard. This is apparently a picture of 3i Atlas, and you can tell it's a generic model. Never mind. This is not real. Hey, the real one is like, the real one literally is just like a spaceship. They're all, never mind. Oh, it's about that time again. It's time for Dauntless Dialogue. Okay. So again, dauntlessdialogue.com. You see that up there? Dauntlessdialogue.com is where I get these incredible documentaries. I love them. I absolutely love them. Now, this is just a taste of one of the many Mouthy Buddha UFO ones that they have on there. And check them out.
That is really the pinnacle. That there's another civilization in existence that's intelligent that we know about. And we actually have artifacts from them that can operate.
This video is a collaborative project with The Orchard, a media company that recently distributed Jeremy Corbell's new film, Bob Lazar, Area 51.
That's the one I was talking about, by the way. Jeremy Corbell. Jeremy Corbell's a stud, but Mouthy Buddha is the king of the world when it comes to documentaries.
And flying saucers. I've been allowed to use their footage, and there are no restrictions on what I can say. This was crucial, as my thoughts on Lazar sometimes differ than those presented in Corbell's documentary. By the end of this video, I hope to have carefully represented those who are convinced Lazar is telling the truth, and also those who believe he's constructed one of the most popular fabrications of the 21st century.
And quite frankly, I could make up a better lie, but I have no motivation to lie.
Nordic.
There are some things I can say that will bolster the case, and I'm not going to. It's going to stay that way.
When you hear an argument against Lazar, a bar will show up at the bottom of the screen, the color red. When you hear an argument for Lazar, the same bar will show up but in the color blue. My opinion is not represented by either the red or blue bar, as I won't be giving my actual opinion until the final scene. Try and think of yourself as part of a jury, and it's my job to represent both the defense and the prosecutor. Let's start at the beginning.
He's a genius. Setting it up this way. Genius. I love Mouthy Buddha, man.
However, the science and the technology can change us dramatically. It can change the way the entire world operates, the economy, everything.
Robert Scott Lazar, or Bob Lazar, claims he worked on the back engineering of alien spacecraft at a base near Area 51 called S4. Bob says he attained a master's degree in physics from MIT, and also a master's degree in technology from Caltech, but there's zero evidence for this.
I checked at MIT, I checked at Caltech, neither one ever heard of them.
If Lazar is telling the truth, how come there's no evidence of his stated educational background? This discrepancy alone is sufficient proof that he's lying. Why should I believe anything else he says when MIT and Caltech continually refute Bob had anything to do with them? There are many possible reasons for this. In his attempt to locate Bob's alleged master thesis, John Andrews, a principal designer for the Testers Company, sent out multiple inquiries to different institutions. After some time passed, a response finally came from John Orth, Special Projects, who said, "I cannot imagine that MIT cannot find it," which suggests that perhaps the thesis was done on a security classified project, and the thesis itself is classified. Is it possible that Lazar's thesis was made classified? But even if that were true, which I don't think it is, it still wouldn't explain why he wasn't in their yearbook. Now you have to assume the government invited themselves into every household of the same class and magically made Lazar's pictures disappear. But you're assuming he took a yearbook picture at all. Physicist Dr. Robert Kringle, the man responsible for inventing the laser rangefinder that is now used in police traffic radar units, says he attended security meetings with Lazar at Los Alamos and had this to say about the yearbook debacle.
You know, that's for undergrads. You know, the class of, you know, the class of 70, the class of 71. That's an undergrad getting your bachelor. When you're up there getting a graduate degree, you're not like with a class.
So like a master's or something?
Right.
Really?
Right. You're
Okay.
in there as you're in there as an independent. There's not like a class of 70 for your masters.
But this is just one random person saying things. Plenty of people who are getting their masters can be found inside of a yearbook, and you still haven't brought up Caltech. They also have no records of his involvement. How do you move around that? During George Knapp's investigation into Lazar's background, he discovered that multiple people who knew Lazar stated that Bob did in fact attend Caltech.
Jim Taliani, for one, who said that, yeah, Bob went to Caltech back then. I dropped him off. I interviewed another person who also knew Bob then and said that he would drop him off at Caltech, would pick him up from the library, that if he wasn't going to school there, he sure was making a good show of it back then.
The credibility of George Knapp is zero. He's a conspiracy theorist who has a vested interest in maintaining Lazar's credibility because he is the one who broke the story. How embarrassing would it be for him if his biggest story was a flop? Notice how Knapp responds when he reflects on the past, when he found out Bob was being convicted of pandering for a brothel.
Here, I have a question. What if, okay, how many of you guys have heard the story about the alien in South Africa that like got off the ship and was like communicating telepathically with like the entire school of children? Okay, very interesting case. And what if Bob Lazar was a different type of operation like that? What if he really is some kind of alien hybrid, Nordic or whatever? And what the purpose of this whole thing was some kind of aliens trying to intervene with humanity to try to help them in some way or another. And so he gets on TV, whatever. And the reason he knows all of this stuff is because he's one of them, and maybe he did lie about his background because he's actually a freaking hybrid alien. And I realize how insane that sounds, but I actually think that that's not impossible. Okay. Now, I mean, obviously nothing's impossible, but I have always, like, my read on him, and, like, I'm not going to say my reads are 100% infallible, but I've always believed he's telling the truth. Like, just by looking at him, I'm like, man, I don't get a single tell that he's lying. Like, not one. Zero. Nothing. And I can usually pick up tons on liars. Like, not just one, but, like, a lot. Where it's like, some people you're kind of like, I don't know, dude. With him, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, he screams telling the truth to me. Every time I've ever seen him speak, that is the impression that I get. I've never seen, he could just be some psycho, that like believes, he could be mentally ill, whatever. But I don't know, man. I've always believed him. Now, we're going to cut this off right here because guess what, guys? That was meant to, I'm trying to help you, okay? I'm trying to help you. Dauntless Dialogue, you will love it, okay? But don't start going there and then forget about your boy over here, okay? Because I will always be here, and I will be here to make you laugh, in addition to feeding you amazing information. I love you guys. Bye-bye.